Yeah, just to give a brief introduction, Anup Menon heads the industry and academy relationship on LinkedIn, and he is here to tell us as to probably how to use the LinkedIn learning for your own career enhancements, probably in your management career or even otherwise outside. LinkedIn is a vast ocean, and knowing very fully as to how to go about doing it is very critical for improving your utilization of the tool as well as reaching out to more people in your profession and other things. So not wasting much of your time, Anup, it's all yours. Please.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much. Reintroducing myself, everyone. Hi. So I'm based out of LinkedIn, Mumbai, and I'm so sorry I couldn't be in person with y'all, but I'll make it a point to do that in the future. I've been with LinkedIn for close to 9 years right now. And in the last 3 years, we've been exclusively working with the academics institution across south of India, west of India, north. So this is one thing which we've been, kind of trying to do with most of the organizations, institutions where we collaborate with is talk the basics of LinkedIn. Okay, like Dr. Prasad here mentioned about, we'll speak about LinkedIn learning, but before LinkedIn learning, I'll also talk to you about few do's and don'ts on LinkedIn as a platform, because you as students today, you have majorly, should be using LinkedIn to the most optimum level. However, creation of a platform on LinkedIn or creation of a profile on LinkedIn is just the start. So what we learn today or what we'll understand today is largely about why LinkedIn, how do you brand yourself on LinkedIn, okay, where do you start the basics of networking on LinkedIn, and then we'll end it with LinkedIn Learning, which is a tool which you all have today. Yeah. So as we jump in, okay, before I get deep into LinkedIn and stuff, I just want to give you some brief idea on social media as such. Okay. Now, most of y'all today are on Facebook, Instagram, you are on multiple other channels, like LinkedIn is just one of it. Now, as per the industry norms, or general standards, it is said that whatever is in front of you, that's what is usually, picked up, or that is what is sold in the market. So we always say that 57% of the decision to buy something or to acquire something is already done in your mind before you come in contact with that actual seller, which means that you can think from your perspective that before you're going to buy a mobile phone, before you're going to buy a motorbike, before you're going to buy a cycle, anything, you already know this in your mind that this is the brand which I want to buy. This is the thing which I want to buy. These are the specifications. It is because today there are too many things available on internet. Okay. Now, for example, if you want to buy a mobile phone, you will Google and you will find out which are the trending mobile phones, which fits into your cost. You will compare features. Same way today, LinkedIn is a place where you will come and create a profile for yourself, and you will start explaining to others that why you should reach out to me or why you should connect with me, and what are the features or benefits which I have as a professional. Yeah. So when you speak about social media, we typically separate them into two segments. One is a professional or personal network, and second is a professional networking. Now, personal networking is more about Facebook, Instagram, wherein you don't need to remember anything. You'll be browsing through your Instagram reels and stories and all. Those are things which are you're doing every day. You see what your friends are doing, what your friends are eating, where your family is holidaying and everything. So this is what we call it as spending time. Okay, which means that there is nothing logical which you are trying to memorize or something. You're just passing your time just to understand what's happening across your friend circle. You should understand one thing, that professional networking is something wherein we don't call it as spending time, we call it as investing time, because here is a place wherein though you're connected to a group of people, you're investing a lot of time to understand industry news. What are my colleagues doing, which companies they are working, my peer set, what are the trends which are going on in the industry, The reason why people call it as investing time on LinkedIn is because all these data and insights or information which you gather will become very useful for you in your interviews or in your conversations. So my assumption is most of y'all are in your post graduation, or I don't know if y'all are in the graduation also, but it doesn't matter. Irrespective of both these segments, it is very important for you to invest that time in the right platform. And now, as students, what do y'all do on LinkedIn? As students, typically, any student will try and start connecting with like-minded people. So you as a student, you will connect with the other students. You will connect with your professors. You will connect with, you go for industrial training or anything, you will connect with those people. There are visiting faculties coming, you will connect with those people. There are different kind of connectivity which happens, and this is exactly what people do. Once you finish your connecting part of it, or connecting is never something which finishes, that's a constant journey. You are informed about what is happening. The moment you go and follow a company, for example, you go and follow TCS as a company, what will happen? TCS gives you a lot of information which will come to you on a regular manner. Okay, for example, TCS will say that our quarterly results were phenomenal. We did X percentage profit. They'll say that we acquired other company. They'll say that, we are planning to hire a lot of people in the next year. All these information are something which is very important for you to get hired eventually. Okay, so this is what students do on LinkedIn. They connect with people, they stay informed about what is happening in the industry, and the eventual reason is they need to get a job. Yeah. Now, why do students spend a lot of time on LinkedIn? Like, as statistics say, 9 out of 10 recruiters, they are present on LinkedIn and they are doing their recruitment on LinkedIn, which means that if you are not on LinkedIn and you're not utilizing LinkedIn to the optimum level, these recruiters who are in the corporate companies, they will not be able to reach out to you. Yeah. So it is very important for you to be not just present on LinkedIn, also be actively participating in LinkedIn, which means show your visibility. If you are a person who is creating a profile and not doing anything about it, it means like you have created a hoarding of yours, a flex of yours, and you have put it in a desert wherein nobody is looking at you. Okay. So once you create your profile, you should start connecting with the community, which is recruiters, because they are the ones who will look at you the maximum. Now, every person today, every professional today has a brand of themselves. Okay. What people are trying to do on LinkedIn is they are trying to create their personal brand so that this brand is something which will be sold to the market. Like, giving you an example, you may have seen Nike versus Adidas. Okay. If I tell you to raise your hand and tell me how many people like Nike, okay. I don't know if you can do that. Are you in a position to put it in the chat or show me a hand raise? How many people are interested or like? Okay, interesting. Quite a few of them. Okay, so I'll also ask how many people like Adidas? Is there a show of hands there? Adidas? It doesn't matter. I mean, it's not a brand check competition here. The objective is both the companies make multiple products. Okay, there are few who love Nike, there are few who love Adidas. It's because you are connected to that brand. There will be something which you like about that brand. You'll be liking their logo, you'll be liking their brand ambassador, you'll be liking their advertisement. Same way is the case with Adidas also. Something or the other you like about that brand. Same way, even humans have a brand, and that is the brand which they are creating on LinkedIn. Because the moment I look at your LinkedIn profile, I should understand what are the qualities which you have, like a Nike does, like an Adidas does. The moment you think of Nike, you will think of something, you know, and that is what connects you to that brand. Same way, when I look at your profile, you also bring in certain values, okay, goals, what you have. Now, this is where LinkedIn is a big differentiator between your resume versus your LinkedIn profile. Okay, your resume is a very static thing which is lying on your desktop. or somewhere in your system. Unless you send it somewhere, that has no value. But in LinkedIn, how I like to put it up is, if you have a great LinkedIn profile and if you are connected to the right people, LinkedIn becomes your marketing manager, which means that when you are sleeping, LinkedIn is marketing you to the outside world. And when I want to look at a person's profile, I always look at a lot of values which that person brings, like what you can see on the screen: how honest you are, how caring you are, how responsible you are, respectful. Because if I'm interviewing 100 students today, and out of 100, 50% of the students have got, say, 60% and above marks in your academics, it becomes very difficult for you to judge. Okay, these are the values and things which people judge you on, so that there is something called as cultural fitment in every organization. They want to look at you from that perspective. I'll go deeper into this. Yeah, but you should understand one thing, that your LinkedIn profile is your LinkedIn brand, which means your professional brand. Same like, you will not mess around with your reputation on Instagram or Facebook. You'll always put quality content there. You'll not put something which gives you any kind of distasteful memories, correct? So in LinkedIn also, you'll do the same thing. Yeah. Now, it is very important for you to know that you need to get noticed, and your LinkedIn profile is the most important thing here. Now, we're going to look at few things which will give us an idea of what to do and what not to do on your LinkedIn profile. But before that, you need to know, the moment you create a profile, your universe is this. Your universe is 1 billion people who are in 200 countries across the world. Okay. Yeah. So India is the second largest country with the maximum member base in LinkedIn. Sorry, across the universe today. Okay. As you see on the screen, there are 127 million people in India. This is the second after United States, which means that the moment you have a profile on LinkedIn, you're opening access for you to get connected to people across the globe. You feel that you want to go outside of India to learn, study, work, whatever. You have a plethora of opportunities to get connected and seek opportunities from the outside world. But for that, the start element is your profile, as I said. So we look at few things which are the most critical for your profile. Okay. Now I'll be covering very basic things. Okay, here. But let me tell you very honestly, these basic things are things which actually people miss out. Even when I go to large corporates today and when I look at their LinkedIn profiles, basic things are not there. And what are these basic things? Photograph. Uh, if it is an offline session, I would have really asked you how many of you all don't have a photograph on your LinkedIn profile. And I would have actually given you a little bit of advice there, that you should have a LinkedIn profile photograph. Okay. The reason here is, I will not be too forceful on the fact that on your resume, word copy resume, you should have a LinkedIn profile, sorry, a profile picture. But on your LinkedIn profile, I would say it's mandatory, because a social profile means, you know, social means your photo is everything there. If you're not showcasing your photograph, you're not social. It's more like your resume there. Now, let me give you a simple tip when it comes to having a photograph. Please do not go to a studio. Do not go to any expensive places to do this. It's a simple trick which you need to do. Use your normal mobile phone, with a decent camera. Be in your formal attire. Okay. Use a plain wall. Okay. Or if there is a logo of your institute somewhere, which you can click, with a 60% face coverage, that is more than enough. Please don't use things like these, what you see on the screen. Okay. Now, these as students, we will certainly not recommend to you. Why? Because these are not things which look professional. Because when you're trying to give an interview today, when you're trying to put your best foot forward, these kind of photographs and these kind of things will not be appreciated. Yes, you can do this once you've scaled up in your career. Once you feel that this is what I am. I work in an animation company, so I'll put an animated pic. I work for a travel company, so I'll put my travel pic. I'll work for my fashion industry, so I'll put my fashion pick. You can do all that once you've matured in your career. But till that time, try to be more formal in nature. Okay. Now, this is a basic thing from a photograph thing. But let me tell you one thing. When you send connection requests to senior people in the industry, okay, like me, I'll take my as an example. When I get a connection request, if that person doesn't have a profile picture, I don't connect with that person, because I have trust issues when somebody sends me a LinkedIn profile connection and they don't have a profile picture. Yeah. Second is location. Now, here is a thing I'll tell you. In location, please do not write India as a country. Okay. Because that's a country you are in, which I agree, but you need to write the exact place where you are in currently. Like today, if you are in Thiruvananthapuram, you have to write that location, because when people try reaching out to you for any kind of activity or jobs or internship, they will look at your LinkedIn profile and they will assume that you are in that location. For example, if you're a person who's traveled from, say, Hyderabad to this place, please don't write Hyderabad as my town. Write currently where you are, because that affects your connectivity. Summary. Okay, the third piece. Summary is a place where I'll give you a tip how to write your summary. Okay. The tip is write 2 lines about your past. Like before coming to DC school,
Kindly mute whoever is
I
not speaking.
yeah, thank you. So I was talking about summary. My suggestion on summary is please have it in 3 paragraphs. Okay. The first paragraph is write 2 lines or 1 line about your past. Like before coming into DC school, what were you doing in the past? Okay. Which other college were you associated with? What course were you doing? Second, write what you're currently doing. Okay. Like in DC school, what is it that you're specializing? How long you've been here? And what other things you are trying to achieve through your college life. And next, the last paragraph is your future. What do you aspire to be? If, since you are students, you'll not have too many things, hence I've given you this templatized approach, so that you're not writing an essay about how you did your schooling and where you reach now. No, all those are not required. Yeah. So this is where you can write your summary. If any of y'all have any experience, okay, make it a point. Now in LinkedIn, I always get asked this question, that I worked for a month, I worked for 2 months, I worked for a couple of weeks in some place. Should I show it on LinkedIn? My answer to you is yes. Okay, please show each and every experience of yours on LinkedIn, because that is a place where you will be you'll have a lot of people who will come across that, and they can probably ask you a lot of questions about that. It will give you an opportunity to showcase your leadership quality there. That I, as a student, I also worked in this place and this is the job I was doing. So make it a point and also tag the right company whenever you're doing it. The fifth point here, and the last on this page one, is pictures and videos. Now, you are all in post graduation. You all have a concept of giving presentations in your classrooms, right? You create projects, you give presentations. Now, it is very important for you to click pictures and put it up on your LinkedIn profile. Now, this is what gives your profile more value, or more a better look than a resume. Okay, because when I'm going through it, when I see some pictures, when I see some videos, I'm really interested to look at that. I'm really interested to judge you basis your leadership qualities, that you've presented something fearlessly and you've present and put it up on your LinkedIn profile. Obviously, don't put it if it has sensitive information. If it's like generic information, generic things which you have done, more than feel free to do that. Education, again, similar to experience. A lot of people ask me, I have done a 2 week certificate course, I have done some course in Tally, should I put it up on LinkedIn? My answer is yes. You don't know what is going to come to your rescue at what phase of life. Okay, many a times when I'm taking some interview of students, or even mid senior level professionals, I'm trying to ask questions to that person looking at their LinkedIn profile, And when there are not too much profiles, then I get into specifics of that role, or try to ask more difficult questions. But when you have everything written there, it makes me ask you more comfort driven questions, which with which you can showcase what was your thought process when you did this. So make it a point that you please put up all the things which are relevant in terms of your education there. Yeah. Endorsements and recommendations, this is my personal favorite. uh, Try to take diversified recommendations from people, which means that after this session, don't go to your colleagues or batchmates, okay, and say that, hey, can you write 3 lines about me, as a recommendation? No, don't do that. Try to have a diversified approach in your recommendation. What is recommendation? Recommendation is basically you're asking somebody to write few lines about you, about the work you did, okay, or about the experience of how was it to engage with you. So if I were a student, I would have taken it with any of one professors, any of senior leadership members. I would have, if I go to internships, if I go for project creation, somebody whom I engaged in that organization or that team, I will ask them. Once I go into, kind of a initial job opportunities when I get, I'll ask those people, to write a recommendation. So one thing to remember here is timing is utmost important when you're asking for recommendation from someone. For example, if you did something good, okay, for your college, or if you went for internships and you did something really good which was appreciated, make it a point to ask for a recommendation there and then. Yeah, because after you've spent some time, or after like 6 months, 1 year, you think that I should have taken that recommendation, it's too late by then. Okay. And along with you, the person who's recommended, even their designation increases. So if somebody has recommended you who's an assistant manager, after 5 6 years, even that person has grown in his career along with you. Correct. So the profile will look very different. So you're creating a portfolio from day one. And the last point here is interest. Please put up your interest areas here. Interest areas means it could be people whom you like to follow. It could be companies which interest you the most. So I follow a lot of people who are from tech industry. I follow people who are from sports industry. I follow a lot of influencers. Influencers are people whom LinkedIn has appointed, and people, for example, the prime minister. There are sports personalities like Sachin Tendulkar. We have Priyanka Chopra, Sunil Shetty. International Hollywood actors are there on LinkedIn. What they do is they put up their thought processes. Okay. So, how does it help you when you put an interest? I especially use that a lot. When I'm taking a student's interview and I see that the student is interested in something, for example, you'll be interested in, say, football. You'll be following some club, say Manchester United or a Real Madrid or anything of that of yours. If I'm also a football person, just give me a second. Sorry. Yeah. So even if I'm also a football passionate person, I would love to have a conversation with you on that. So this is where interest comes into play. Yeah. So I'll take a pause here, again, show you few things which are the most important on your LinkedIn profile. So which we started off with this piece, which is having a photograph, write the right location, summary, experience, put up a lot of pictures and videos, okay, and then education, endorsements and recommendation, and interest. Okay, these are the 9 things which are the most important on your LinkedIn profile, and try your level best to have them completed. Because once you start sending out connection requests, these are the things which comes out evidently. Yeah. Once that is done, then your journey starts of networking. Now, what do you do with this LinkedIn profile? Okay, you've created a LinkedIn profile, you've filled up all the blanks, you've put up a photograph. Now starts your journey of movement. Okay, now a student's journey, like 10 years, 15 years back, is no longer linear. Linear in the way, it's not that you're taking a resume, going and standing outside a company and asking the HR, take my interview, I've got good marks. No, things have changed. Things have changed. For example, you as a student, now you need to engage with multiple people, multiple places, multiple activities, multiple platforms. Okay. And that's where your job search or your opportunity to get a job increases. Okay. Like you see on LinkedIn itself, there are multiple activities which happens. You go and look at a company, you go and look at an employee of that company. All these things can be backtracked. Okay, and this information can go back to the company that this person has actually moved around, this person has seen your company page, this person has visited your employees page. So you're trying to get information from as many places as possible. So what you need to do here is you also need to have effective communication here on LinkedIn. So I'll say about the rule of seven towards the last. Okay. But first, what I'll tell you is the moment you have a LinkedIn profile ready, start sending connection requests, and don't start sending connection requests to random people whom you don't know. Okay. Start sending connection requests to people whom you know. Who are the people whom you know? Your own batchmates, your professors, your family, people who were in school with you all. Now they may also be doing their post graduation, or people who are senior to you. Okay. Because the reason is, when you send it out to a random stranger, you're sending it out to a recruitment team of a large organization. The moment they see that this person has only one connection, five connection, it's a big red flag. They will think that this person is a spammer, okay, who's just randomly reached out to me, and this person has no connections, nothing. So this gives a very negative impression. Okay. Start having connections, because we always look for mutual connections. We always look for people who are mutually connected, so that I get a confidence that this person is genuine. Yeah. So do that. Second is start following companies. There are a lot of companies, like I gave you examples. There'll be few companies wherein you would want to get placed. Your aspirational companies, you'll say that, hey, I want to work with Google, I want to work with Amazon, I want to work with Apple. Start following those companies. Let your actions be useful to you for your career change. Because what happens is, when you're talking to people, when you're talking to any other recruitment teams or any other seniors of yours, these information with the companies have posted on their page gives you immense knowledge, with which, when you're sitting in a room to talk about during your about you or your passion, all these information will be very useful. Yeah. Like and share post and articles. Don't be a spectator here. Participate. Which means that if on your page itself, your college has a page, TC School of Management has a page, that page also puts up content. You all as students today should go there and like and share those content, because along with you, the college will also gain that popularity, so that other corporate seekers will also look at them. Okay. Send relevant content. Have a disciplined approach to put some content. As students, my suggestion is, try to put something every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, try to put a content on LinkedIn. It could be any of your guest lecturer, it could be any event or activity which happened in college, it could be you went for a visit somewhere, or it was an exciting moment you're planning for your cultural fest or some cultural program. Put it up and write 2 lines about it and tag your college. Okay. Take this as an activity, and take this as your first step towards creating some kind of brand awareness for yourself. Because the moment you start posting something, that's when you become visible to the outside world. Now I'll come to this rule of seven. On social media, we follow something called as rule of seven. What is rule of seven? I don't know how many of you all today on Instagram, Facebook, multiple other places, even on LinkedIn, you'll see that there is one advertisement which always keeps coming. Whenever you open, this is one advertisement. Now, recently, LinkedIn, I was seeing that was Van Hussein. Van Hussein kept coming, kept coming, kept coming. I kept, assuming, why is this advertisement not going? Till the time I realized every social media platform follows something called as rule of seven. What is rule of seven is, it takes 7 instances, for you to take an action on social media. Okay, why am I saying this? Is today a lot of students, okay, a lot of professionals also, they try to be a one message wonder person. Okay, which means that you send a message to a senior person of any organization, that person does not respond, and you have created a thing for yourself that, hey, for me LinkedIn is not working. It will never work for you, because that person is not obligated to reply to you, because they don't know you. They don't know you as a person, they don't know you personally, obviously, right? So hence rule of 7 comes into play. So which means that if you are interested to talk to people on social media, you need to engage with them. You need to like their content. You need to share their content. You need to put some comments there, send connection request, appreciate them for their work. Over a period of time, put your ask. Whereas a lot of people do the reverse. They connect with people, immediately put their ask, sir, I want to do internship here. What is the process? It will never work, because they are getting hundreds of other invitations and requests on a daily basis, and they don't know you. For you to be given any kind of advice, or why should they even offer you a job? So remember this, called as rule of 7. Try to engage more deeper, so that that person has a recall value that Anup as a person exists. This person has been liking, commenting my content. I really like, this kind of approach. Then subtly send him a connection request, and then subtly put in the ask that I've been following you, I've been following your company, I've been seeing that you're posting this kind of content. I'm also a student who's been actively engaging in this kind of activities. And here is the reason why I'm connecting with you, because I'm really interested to work for your organization. Yeah, and then connect the loop there. So always have that loyalty loop, which means that I'm not a stranger who's coming to you asking you for some random thing. I feel I know you, I've been following you, and hence I'm asking. Yeah, so that's the communication part of social media. Now, that's about networking, that's about LinkedIn as a networking product. Now, when it comes to LinkedIn Learning, which is an enhancement which your college has taken for yourself, you are very lucky that this kind of an initiation has come to you, because LinkedIn Learning today is typically a tool which is used by most of the students to stand out. Okay, so as you see on the screen, 95% of the Fortune 500 hires on LinkedIn, which means that it is very important for you to stand outside or stand apart from most of the students or most of the members on LinkedIn, and start giving this approach of continuous learning, which means that I'm a person who's learning constantly. With that, that becomes your muscle memory, that the moment I don't know something, immediately I go and learn. Now, why is that important to you? Because it is said that, if you look at the middle part, it is said that 65% of skills, okay, I'll just read that out for you. The skills needed for an average LinkedIn member's job will be changed by 65%, which means what? Each year, as the year passes by, there are new skills which are emerging, and it is said that by 2030, 65% of the skills which you already have today, it will become redundant. Okay, there will be new skills which will come out. Okay, and it is also said that, if you notice this, 2023, LinkedIn members added 680 million skills to their profiles, which means that a person comes, rather than writing this is where I'm working and all that, they are writing the skills which they have. How do they write the skills which they have? They instantly learn those skills and put it up there, because gradually the world is going into a space which is called as a skill based hiring. Skill based hiring means they are more focused on the skills which you have, rather than the education qualification which you have. Correct. So LinkedIn Learning becomes extremely important for you to do those short courses and immediately bring those certifications out onto LinkedIn, so that there are two things happening. One, you're upskilling yourself. Second, you're also promoting your brand, which is you, as I said earlier, in front of the outside world, because there's a reason for people to come and like, comment, share what you have done. You did a Python course, you did a AI related course, immediately put it up on LinkedIn. You're instantly grabbing the eyeballs of a lot of people in the market. That how come a student is doing these courses? So make sure you do that. Now, what is LinkedIn Learning as a platform? It's a tool meant for personalized learning. It is a tool which gives you skill development insights, and it is for community based learning, which means that a group of people, you can combine together and learn here. You get content which are personalized to you, because two things of personalizations happen here. This is your AI which is built up, it will talk to your LinkedIn profile and try giving you more content, or there's an AI search engine which will give you more and more new content. So it's very important for you to stay focused here and start using this tool, because, like I told you, things change very quickly. Okay, skills change. Now, for example, we were talking about generative artificial intelligence, Chat GPT. The moment Chat GPT came in, suddenly you look at job descriptions today, they want courses, or they want students, or they want professionals who are already qualified in Chat GPT. Okay, now as a student, where will you go to learn ChatGPT? You need to come to LinkedIn Learning. You can learn ChatGPT here, at a basic level or even at an advanced level. So, like that, it enables you to keep on updating yourself and pushing in the concept called as continuous learning. Now, let me tell you one thing. LinkedIn Learning as a tool has been used in large organizations. For example, a TCS uses LinkedIn Learning, Reliance uses, company like Genpact, companies like a Deloitte. They are all consumers of LinkedIn Learning content, and it is the same content. It is the same tool which they use has been given to you, which means that it's a clear evidence that it's not just the student community who uses this because the college has given you. The college has given you because this is an easy segue into the corporate world. Because once you go there, you'll realize that LinkedIn as a platform is used very heavily in those organizations. Now, if you look at it, uh, build the. It's very important for you to build the skills for tomorrow. Okay, which means that you now get access to all the latest content which is being generated on LinkedIn. Now, let me tell you, the LinkedIn Learning platform which you have today has close to 10,000 courses. But let me tell you, every week LinkedIn uploads 50 new content to that, which means close to 200 new content every week is published there. Now, this is very important, and this is where we are informing or alerting our students that with the changing movement of technology and the way in which industry is moving, even we are generating content so that you don't feel redundant at any point in time. The moment you realize that there is a new technology coming, try to get in onto LinkedIn, do that course. And my humble request to you is please put up your certificates onto LinkedIn, your LinkedIn platform, because that's the place wherein you'll get maximum visibility. So here you're going to use two weapons together. One is your LinkedIn profile. Second is LinkedIn Learning as a platform. These are two weapons you have to smoothly enter into a corporate industry as a job seeker, or as a person who is interested to go for further education. Both these tools becomes extremely important. Yeah, try to set up a goal for yourself, which is every week, I will do X number of courses. Every 2 weeks, I need to finish this. And LinkedIn helps you to do that by giving you those nudges on a regular basis for you to realize that what are the things you can do and what are the things you cannot do on LinkedIn. Yeah. Now, there are different courses. There are courses for everyone here. Okay, there is a course for a dean kind of a audience. There are courses for student services, HR, career, IT, marketing, finance, everything here. Only thing my request to you is try to focus on things which interests you and excites you the most. Don't use this as a checkbox activity that if I just do 5 courses, I'll put it up on LinkedIn, my visibility will increase. No. you need to put it up in a story format, which means that if you're learning something, if you're trying to specialize in marketing, try to do courses which is in and around marketing. Like, you can do an AI related course, you can do IoT related courses, you can do cyber security related courses. Why? Because there are a lot of these new age companies today come and ask the marketing teams that, hey, I'm a company which is into cyber security, how can you market me? For that, it's very important for you to know what is cybersecurity. It's very important for you to know what is IoT. A lot of these new consumer durable companies, they're looking for people who are very good at IoT. Why? Because they want to connect everything in your home so that there is connectivity. They want to connect your, laptop to your mobile phone, to your, Alexa, to your television, everything. So this is where, your understanding becomes very important. So you can't say that, hey, I'm a marketing person, what will I do learning technology? Just understand one thing, that if you learn technology plus you're a marketing person, your chances of excelling in your marketing becomes really high, because it is a pleasure for any organization to have a marketing person who's already aware of their technologies which they are selling. Same is the case with HR, same is the case with operations, same is the case with finance. Everyone, you try to diversify your thought process, start to diversify and start thinking more closer to the industry, and have a clear thought process that, why am I doing this? If I'm a finance guy, what should I learn? I should learn things which are more from a fintech point of view, because financial technologies today, financial related technologies also, they are booming. So if I've done a finance graduation, a post graduation, along with that I know a couple of technical skills here, you become a, live bomb for people, to be hired. Understood? So there are courses for everyone. There is no restriction for you to do courses. Okay, you and I will also go to the extent of asking that in your free time, there are courses related to music, there are courses related to dance, there are music related to audio, video, UI, UX, multiple things. So don't only get stuck in your career related courses. Okay, if I'm in marketing, I'll do only marketing and related activities. No, you can do n number of courses. It is up to you. There will be no additional charge which will LinkedIn will charge you. Feel free to explore the tool to the maximum, but make it a point that you bring all your learnings onto LinkedIn. For example, if you learned something, you did a small course about music, publish it on LinkedIn that I learned something new today. Okay. Now, this is something which a leader or a recruiter would love to hear from you, that what did you do differently? Yeah. So, the very important things and very basic things which I'm telling you about. So, have a very focused approach. Okay. This tool is available to you in every shape and form. Use the AI. There are two things I'll recommend you to use in LinkedIn: the career path. Set your career path on LinkedIn. Okay. Please put up what you want to become, like after your college, so that LinkedIn can recommend to you what courses you should do. So if you're interested to get into HR as an HR recruiter or an HR generalistic person, put that up on LinkedIn so that the system will understand and it will keep recommending to you courses which you should do, or also recommend you courses which have been newly published. Yeah. So let the AI do the activities for you. The AI can only work when you are feeding more and more information. So that is one thing which I'll recommend is the career path. Second thing I'll recommend is the use the AI chatbot. There is an AI chatbot on your LinkedIn Learning. Please ask questions to the AI chatbot. Ask more and more, like, I am supposed to deliver, I am supposed to give an interview after 2 days. How should I prepare? It'll ask you, what interview is it? Give them more information. This is for a finance company. I'm applying for a sales role. So what should I be aware of? It'll give you courses which you should do. Yeah. So this is how you'll continue the entire pattern and have a very clear and very simple approach on what you want to do and how you want to do. Like, I would like to end with this piece today and say that LinkedIn is an investment. Okay. It takes time to give you good returns. Even a different example to give you is like LinkedIn is like your gym membership, which means that you can go and pay money to the gym and not go. You know, in your mind, you are satisfied that, hey, I have a gym membership, I've paid money. It's the same thing when you say that, I have created a LinkedIn profile. From tomorrow, my life is going to change. Same way as your gym membership. Unless you get into the gym, work out yourself, takes shed some sweat and pull some muscles out, nothing is going to happen there. Yeah, so be very mindful of the time which is required. This is very organic in nature. You cannot be a wonder man or wonder woman in one night or one day. Okay, it's a slow approach, but become a LinkedIn champion as soon as you can. Yeah, so I'll keep it to this, everyone, today. I'm more than happy to take any questions, anything coming from you to me. Questions could be related to your experience on LinkedIn or LinkedIn learning per se, if there is any queries you have, or anything other than that related to LinkedIn. You can put it in chat, you can unmute and ask whatever you feel.
Yeah, the floor is open, so kindly shoot all the questions so that we can answer you.
സർ നമ്മൾ പേപ്പർ പ്രസന്റേഷൻ ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ പോസ്റ്റ് ഗ്രാജുവേഷനിൽ. സോ ഞാനത് എനിക്ക് പോസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുമോ?
Okay, so paper presentation. Okay, may I know who asked me this question?
ലിഡിയ സർ.
Lydia. Okay, so Lydia, you can post any certificate. Okay. There is a separate section in LinkedIn, okay, which tells you to post your certificates and awards and everything. Please put it up there in that section.
Okay.
Okay. You can post it as an image. You can post it as a link. If your certificate is linked to some other website, you can do that. But my recommendation is please do it. Okay,
sir,
please post it.
Thank you, sir.
Anything, anyone?
Anup, all these requests for recommendations that come, though you said it's a very good thing, but there are far too many requests that keep propping up. Just kindly recommend me kind of stuff. So
I know. So again, if you are getting that, sir, I think you need to take a very conscious call of whom to give, whom not to give. Because that needs to be given out as a very prestigious things from your side at least. Okay, like there can be multiple. So in every organization, the leader of that organization usually gets a lot of requests. Okay, but that leader decides to give that as a token of appreciation to very few people. It should be a achievement for somebody to get that recommendation. So you'll have to treat it that way, and not just give away recommendations to everyone. But when it comes to students, like I told you, for them it is very important to ask the right people at the right time. Don't just ask for the sake of it. Okay, because then there is no value. If you ask a person twice or thrice for recommendation, if they are not recommending, they don't want to recommend, which means that you've lost the bus. So keep that very focused approach of when should I take my recommendation and how should I take my recommendation. Anything, anyone else? Do you want to share some experience of yours on LinkedIn, which worked for you, which didn't work for you? Your networking journey. Has anyone like really reached out to a recruiter and connected with them, had a chat with them? Anyone done that? I'm sure you have, but people would be a little.
it's a fairly quiet audience you have. So
I know. No, I don't want to put people on spot, but yeah, takes a lot of courage to speak in a public forum, so it's completely fine. Anyone wants to share, please feel free. Otherwise, it's okay. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. Okay, if you have anything to ask me, please ask me. But on LinkedIn itself, you can put in a chat to me. But when you're sending a connection request to me, make it a point that you have all your LinkedIn profile filled up. Okay, which means that I do not accept anyone without a profile picture. I want the headline to be written. I want your LinkedIn certifications which you have done. I want that to be on your LinkedIn profile. Okay, this gives me a lot of trust in knowing you as a student. Okay, because I don't have any connection to students. Okay, so when I want to create a connection with students, I need to make sure that you have a great LinkedIn profile. So that we both can add value to each other. And like I also told you, you have a page for your institute. If y'all are not following that page, please make it a point to follow that page. Okay, because that is your first source of any kind of information. That is the first source of you sharing any kind of post on LinkedIn. You can just pick it up from there and post it on your LinkedIn profile, because there is a lot of visibility for you and for the college. So it's very important for you primarily, because a lot of people will, when a recruiter is looking at your profile, a recruiter will try to judge you basis your LinkedIn profile. Now, one thing I'll always tell this, which I missed, is a lot of students here are participating or are part of a lot of these NGO services, Red Cross, or health organizations. In their free time, you do. I've also known students who are in their free time, they coach students. It could be a sports related coach, football, cricket, badminton, whatever. Or you are in some kind of art or cultural activities when you're trying to train some people or small children. These are things which I'll recommend put it up on your LinkedIn profile. Okay, because this actually showcases the values which you bring. If you're putting up things like I'm part of the college committee, which is creating or organizing a college fest, or I'm part of the placement committee, that immensely talks about your leadership. That immensely talks about your leadership qualities. And if there are 3 people whom I want to take interview, and the other 2 don't have much written, and you have written all these things that I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'll be more than happy to talk to you and hire you rather than the other 2. Because I've already created, remember the first slide I showed you? Before even you come in touch with me, I've already created a perception that he's a good person, he'll be a good fit for me. So you have to do that even before you come in touch with the actual business person there. Yeah, so I'll keep it to this much. Happy to be here. Dr. Jashankar, anything from your end?
No, I think thank you for coming in, Anup. I hope everyone has a perspective on how to use their own LinkedIn profiles for better career options. And yeah, there are more to ask in terms of the specific learning and other things which we might catch up with you sometime later. So
no problem. Absolutely fine.
Thank you. Thank you for coming and spending your time with all the students.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure. Have a great evening and have a great year ahead. And feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. More than happy to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks.
All.
Thanks. Bye-bye, everyone.
Yeah,
Thanks.
please.
Bye-bye.